And y'all tried to tell me Jamal and Jamel Charlo are pound for pound fighters. Boy, please. Boy, please. These guys been fucking professional fighters, been in the pro ranks since 2007. Finally got their first pay-per-view in 2020. These guys are not no young boys in the game. No wonder Jamal Charlo is not talking about he ain't gonna fight nobody who's under 25. And if he fights David Benavidez, he has to have a fucking COVID vaccination. Not even go take a COVID test and come back negative, and we can get this popping. This is the first time I heard of this in boxing, you know what I mean? Real talk, man. First time I heard this type of stuff in boxing, these type of demands. Who is Jamal Charlo to make these type of demands? You know what it really comes down to? If y'all really thought this dude was serious about going to 168 pounds to fight the man David Benavidez, you out your rabbit ass mind. Real talk, you know what I mean? I knew this dude is pump faking out here. Don't want no smoke with nobody at 168 pounds. He'll take the cannoli fight, but do I know how much he's requesting as far as a payday? I don't know about that. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna get into semantics or I'm sorry, logistics about how much he's demanding if he wants that cannoli fight. That's neither here nor there. But this video right here is about him talking about he ain't fighting nobody under 25, and David Benavidez needs to get a vaccination. You know what I'm saying? Like, what part of the game is that? You know, I mean, what would make y'all think that the man is trying to come up in weight to 168 pounds? Y'all forgot this, and y'all really think that man gonna beat David Benavidez? I don't think so. You guys tried to clown the man Jamal Charlo. Crown the man. I said clown the man. Crown the man Jamal Charlo. A top 10 pound for pound or even higher because he beat Deverchenko, a guy who has come out who had 2 losses, who was probably coming up off a loss. You know what I'm saying? Danny Jacobs beat him before Charlo, and Triple G beat him before Charlo. Now, Charlo did beat Deverchenko in more spectacular, not spectacular because he ain't knock him out or drop him. He beat him in better fashion than the latter two that I mentioned, Triple G and Danny Jacobs. But maybe that's because Danny Jacobs and Triple G softened him up, softened Deverchenko up. You know what I mean? For the man Charlo, you check it. These days in boxing, these guys want to get the highest reward, get the biggest paydays for taking the lowest risk. You know what I'm saying? These guys want to play boxing like they want to play on easy mode. You know what I mean? Like it's a video game. Play on easy mode and beat everybody in the game and act like they're the biggest, baddest fighters on the planet. You check it. Yeah, Jamal Charlo's one corny ass dude too for making those type of demands. You know what I mean? Look, forget about David Benavidez. There's a Jamal Charlo in the division. There's a Triple G. Now I understand, yes, David Benavidez is on the PBC. It's an easier fight to make because Charlo's on PBC as opposed to Triple G and Andrade, who are on the DAZN app. You know what I mean? But on the real, who says that? Got to get a COVID vaccination, boy. Please, Jesus Christ, man. These new fighters these days, man. These new fighters these days, man. They just And the fanboys don't make it better, man. The fanboys actually are the ones who put a battery in these corny ass boxers' backs so they could talk that bullshit. You know what I mean? You check it. Now, Jamal Charlo, who's the best name he's defeated on his resume? Austin Trout? Probably Austin Trout, right? Gotta be Austin Trout. A fight that was controversial, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Yeah, a controversial fight. Now, Jamal Charlo, he got to do something better to strengthen his resume before y'all talk about his pound for pound. You thought this guy who started at 154 gonna go up and face this big Mexican American and David Benavidez, who has no title at 168 pounds, who no longer has a strap? which is his own fault why he's no longer a champion. He thought he was going to go up there and face this man. What's the incentive? That's a high risk. Boy, what's he got? What's he trying to prove? That he's a pound for pound fighter? If he does it all well and fine, and if he beats him, great. Then we can consider the man. And definitely he could be a top 10 pound for pounder. But when you out here talking about you ain't fighting nobody over under 25, that basically is showing me these are duck moves. These are duck tactics, and there's no way around it. And don't be surprised if sooner than later, depending on who the man Charlo fights next, a DuckTales video's in the vault. You know what I mean? I might as well even record it right now. Just put it on the side, just in case when this man does go ahead and fight the likes of a Brian Adams or a Dennis Hogan again, then we could say, yeah, Slim is ducking David Benavidez for sure by his actions. Look who he's fighting next. You know what I mean? Now, have I seen some injustices done to Jermall Charlo in this boxing game? Absolutely. Cash cows, Triple G and Cannoli ducked the man. You know what I'm saying? And even vacated straps in order not to face the guy. Okay? That's an injustice towards Jermall Charlo, absolutely. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, why was you out here pump faking like you want to fight David Benavidez? And then all of a sudden I hear you on this live stream. What do they call it? Not even a live stream. What they call it? IG Live, talking about you ain't fighting nobody under 25, and David Benavidez has to get a vaccination for COVID. So it's not even good enough that he can take a COVID test. And believe you me, I've taken about how many COVID tests I've taken? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, twice on Friday, and one rapid test. And I ain't taken because I had any symptoms of COVID, man. I was about to catch a flight. I'm saying there's a lot of demands right about now if you catching flights overseas, you know what I mean? Going to different countries, globe trotting, because that's what B-March Boxing do. You check it. I had to take COVID tests, and I came up negative, you know what I mean? As I should. I show no symptoms. I feel great. You know what I'm saying? That's not good enough for Jermall Charlo. He wants this guy to get a whole vaccination. Now that's up to David Benavidez if he wants to do that. And if David Benavidez really want to call this guy's bluff, I was actually, you know what, on second thoughts, I was going to say if he want to call his bluff, go ahead and take the vaccination. But 9 times out of 10, Jermall Charlo will put up another roadblock as to why he ain't going to fight the guy. Now, I'm going to tell you like this. I don't care about this fight. I'm not clamoring for this fight. Personally, I'd like to see Caleb Plant versus Benavidez more. You know what I'm saying? I'm a type of guy who's into guys facing guys in their weight class, conquer your division, then look for other challenges in higher weight classes. That's the kind of mindset I've always been on. You know what I mean? So I ain't clamoring for that fight. I'm not too sure if the whole boxing public is, because there's some bigger fish to fry at middleweight for Jermall Charlo. You know what I mean? David Benavidez has put himself, back against the wall. Lost his title on the scales. That's his problem, you know what I'm saying? And, it's actually, deterring him from getting even a fight with Caleb Plant. Caleb Plant saving himself. He's saving himself like a virgin trying to save herself for the night she gets married, you know what I mean? To finally, you know what I'm saying, let go of her virginity. That's what this guy's trying to do. And Caleb Plant's virginity is his undefeated record. And he's only going to be willing to risk it if he gets a cannoli fight. If he doesn't price himself out or is scared enough to take the fight, then he's going to get his cherry popped, you know what I mean? And that's the only thing concerning Caleb Plant in this given day as of 2021, this whole year. I doubt this guy, Caleb Plant, will be taking any risks unless it comes to a cannoli fight, you know what I mean? So David Benavidez put himself in this type of tight predicament, and he has no one to blame but himself. But Jermall Charlo out here pump faking like he wants smoke with the man David Benavidez. I think he's trying, you know what he's trying to do? Because he can't get the man cannoli, right? So he's like, yeah, it's boxing. You know what I mean? What, 2007. I'm basically 14 years deep into the game, right? I just finally got my first pay per view. Got beat Derevchenko. I possibly didn't think that particular fight should have been on the pay per view, but I did say that card was dope. The card was vicious when the Charlo brothers came back last year in September and did their little pay per view. You know what I'm saying? Double header thing. You know what I mean? The card was dope from top to bottom. Very good fights, but I didn't think that that in particular any of the fights. Fighting Jason Rosario is not pay per view worthy, and neither is fighting Derevchenko. But with that being said, Jermall Charlo is trying to act like he wants to fight the man Benavidez because he's a Hispanic. You know what I mean? He's a Latino fighter, Mexican American. You know what I'm saying? This will make for great boxing as far as fan bases coming together and rooting for these fighters. You know what I mean? Charlo's fanboys rooting for him or his fan base, and also David Benavidez fan base rooting for him. You know what I mean? That's the whole formula that Floyd Mayweather tried to show us the blueprint. Like, yo, you want to make some exciting fights as far as grabbing the public's attention. Let's have a African American fighter versus Hispanic fighter. It was great when we seen it with Pernell Whitaker versus Chavez Senior, excuse me. Although it was a robbery, but these makes for great clashes. You know what I'm saying? Junior Jones versus Barrera. You know what I'm saying? Great fights. You know what I mean? And fights that we'll remember till this day. You check it. So I'm sorry, Charlo was trying to put himself. He actually probably thought about it, like, yeah, this could actually put me on a higher, my name could be recognized more in boxing. But is he willing to really take that risk to go up there and fight a hungry David Benavidez, who right about now back is against the wall, no title strap, dangerous fighter. Fellas ain't just gonna step up and say, hey, ain't nobody calling out David Benavidez except Charlo, but now Charlo's putting roadblocks. Yeah, another one of these lame old boxers, you know what I'm saying? Corny ass fighters these days who don't want to take no risks but want to get the highest paydays they can possibly secure. P March Box, let me know what y'all think about this nut ass dude Charlo. I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one. I'm gone. These fighters disgust me these days. Peace.